Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. So today is July 21st, 2020, and we're over here with the one veggie trough, and we're going to be planting red beet seeds in. Now, the veggie trough had bok choy and lettuce growing in it. It was really root browned. You can see the mat of roots there, and we were working on breaking them up. So you can see still needs worked up there. So we broke the soil up with a little handheld tiller that we have, and we added some fresh compost to it. So we're going to get the plant food all mixed in here so we can plant our red beet seeds. And we have to kind of hurry with this because we have a thunderstorm on its way coming, and we want to get this done so we can get inside before the thunderstorm actually comes.
That thing was so matted up, it was...
Yeah, you can see the mats of roots there from all the bok choy and everything else that was in it. It just matted everything together. Now, some of the root masses we get rid of. Others we let them in and let them decompose.
Make them up good.
You can see here's some of the lettuce still over here. Now this, most of this is actually from last year. And it planted itself in the fall time and made it through the winter. So we're adding some bone meal here to our soil. Bone meal helps to develop your root crops. So we're just mixing some bone meal in, and then we're going to get it all mixed in with the soil. So your bone meal has in nitrogen and phosphorus. Now your phosphorus helps to develop the bulbs and the roots of your plants. So when you're growing like carrots, red beets, radishes, onions, garlic, you want to add a little bone meal to your soil to help feed those bulbs so that they develop for you. Now, it does have the nitrogen in it, which will help the plants for the foliage. You don't want everything to go into the foliage, but you do want to feed a little bit of it so that your plants grow nice. And one thing that we do is we water our stuff before we plant it when we plant it in the raised beds. And the reason why we do that is what will happen is your soil will not take up the water. So you kind of have to mix it around. And you can see here how it's floating. And I just got it thrown on me. Yeah, you can see here it's on my shorts and my shirt. You have to mix it up because if you don't, it won't take up the water and everything will just start floating on you.
As you can see.
You can see there it's floating.
It's like flour.
It's like when you're making a cake. You want to get everything all mixed together, or you'll have a mess when you turn your mixer on. And you want to do this even with your seed starting mix. You want to pre-moisten your soil so that it's wet, because if you try and use your seed starting mix without your soil being made pre-moist, it won't take the water up, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So it's been really hot up here. We're gardening in Pennsylvania in Zone 5B, and we've been getting temps like in the 90s, which is very unusual, especially for this time of the year. And you want to make sure that you get your soil moist so that it stays moist, because if you don't, it's not going to stay moist for you, and you're going to have issues with germination. You're not going to be able to keep it wet. So we're going to keep working with this here, and when we're ready to plant the seeds, we'll come back and show you. So you can see here, we put a lot of water on this so far, and you can see it's dry underneath. So it's going to need a lot more water and a lot more mixing in.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We had to do this with this whole trough when we planted it the first time. There's a tag. One of my tags went under. We had to make the entire thing wet like this and mix it all up, and that's how we got it then to hold water for us so we could plant our stuff in it. So we're getting this here watered more, so we have the water hose there, and we're trying to mix everything up so that it gets moist. Now this was watered daily, and you can see how dry it is, and if your plants get too dry, they're not going to thrive like they should. I mean, you want well-drained soil, but you also need to keep your soil moist,
which we thought we were doing.
which we thought it was. We didn't know it was actually this dry, which we didn't know until we started working with it here. So this is how we're working with it to try and re-moisten the soil here. And when you start getting real high temperatures and wind, it's really going to dry your stuff out.
And low humidity.
And when you start getting low humidity. So the soil's prepared here, and we made our rows. Now one thing that we do with our red beet seeds is we soak our seeds for a few hours to 24 hours. If you need them in quick, maybe do like 2 hours, but to get the most benefit for a quicker germination, you want to go like 24 hours. And you can see one of the red beet seeds here is already starting to sprout. So you can see, get one here, the red beet seed here. Now red beet seeds have more than one seed in this seed pod here. So I'm just going to drop it here into the planting hole. Just going to drop it in here. And then we're going to do that the whole way out the row. Now if you have some that are already sprouting, like this one here is already sprouting, you want to put that sprout down, and it should come up for you then. So we're going to get this here finished and planted. And we're going about 3 fingers apart on these for spacing. So I put my one seed here, my other seeds here, and then this one back here is the double seed, which is actually sprouting out on both sides. So that's going to get 2 red beets. And then what we'll do with that is we will transplant the extra red beet seedlings to another growing area. And our rows are about 1/4 of an inch deep when we make them for our red beets. And then we will cover the seeds then gently. So we're just gently now covering these with some potting mix. Now as your seeds germinate, you want to keep your soil moist but not soggy. And after you put your covering over the top, if your soil is dry, go ahead and water it in. You want to gently water it in. You don't want to water it in like we were watering this bed earlier. You want to just kind of take your the setting on the water nozzle and put it to like a mist or a gentle shower. and I will show you some that we planted earlier, and they are coming up already. So we'll be right back. And you can see here's some red beets here. You can see the little seedlings just starting to come up. Now this here is a weed here and here, and how you can tell the difference is this is all green, and your red beet seedlings are green, but they have a red stem, and they have like a little red vein right down here at the like the base where the leaf comes out. And these were started a few days ago. We redid our swimming pools. We took the onions out, and we put red beets in. Now we did keep the soil moist as they were germinating. We took the hoses out of the greenhouse, and we used the shower setting on the sprayer and kept it moist through here, and they're coming up nice for us. Now as you can see here, these came up in a cluster here, and what we'll do then is we'll transplant these extra ones out and we'll put them in a new row. And I do have a video on my channel for how I do that. Now what we'll do is we're going to keep these beds here moist as our stuff continues to grow. If your soil gets too dry, what will happen is your stuff won't grow, and your nutrients will actually get locked in the soil, and your plants aren't going to get fed, and they're just going to kind of sit there. So keeping your soil moist is a good thing. Now you don't want it soggy, you don't want it waterlogged, and you don't want your plants standing in water. So there is a balance there for growing your vegetables. And you can really see they're coming up in here. Here's another double one. And let's see what's in this bin over here. Yeah, here's some more here. And here, this one here is 3 sprouted here. And when we separate them, it's a great way to, you're not throwing your seedlings away. You get more plants out of it. And, you know, for some reason, red beet seeds, they just have more than one seed on their little seed pod when they give their seeds. And it gives the opportunity for more than one seed to come up. And when you thin them out, instead of throwing them away, for us, we just transplant them, and it works very well. I did a garden tour here in July, and I showed a row in there were transplanted, and they do very well for us. We never had an issue with it. If you let your seedlings go like this, what'll happen is they won't produce the nice bulbs, and you'll have real thin red beet bulbs on the ends, and you're not going to be too happy with your results. But by thinning them, it allows for the seedlings to grow larger. Well, it allows for your plants to grow larger, and then you get the nice bulbs off of your plants there that you can eat then. So today is July 24th, 2020, and the red beet seeds that we had just planted in the veggie trough is coming up for us. And that's one of the reasons why we soak our seeds, is we get faster germination rates with it, and our seeds just come up a whole lot faster from what we noticed by soaking the seeds. Now the bok choy that was in here did reseed itself, so that's coming up too. So we'll have to make sure that that doesn't crowd out our red beet seedlings here. Well, you can see the little red beet seedlings. There's one there, and there's one there. Now, up here, here we go. Here's the little patch. You can see there's multiple ones coming up in there. We will be separating those out and we will be transplanting them so that we don't lose them when we thin our red beets out. And we don't like to throw them away. I mean, you get free plants and it's a little bit to thin them out, but the harvest is nice because you're not throwing the stuff away, you're transplanting it, and you're getting more vegetables to eat. So I just wanted to give you this quick update here that these are germinating for us. See, there's more right here and over here. Now this is the bok choy seedling right here. That's a bok choy there. And there's 2 more over here. So if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the little notification button that notifies when I put a new video on. You can also follow me on Twitter. I have a link down in the description for my Twitter account. Thank you for watching and hope you have a nice day. Bye.